My name is Terrence O'Brien Henderson, the tech designer for apparel and hard goods here at Kotis Design, and I will be your guide today. This presentation will allow us to make creative choices that are on trend and fashion forward while still being accessible to our market. So, let's begin. Our first trend from the runway this year is the modern take on the Japanese-inspired kimono collar. Here you can see it in 6 completely different takes. The first one being a little bit more military styled and suited. You can see the kimono collar right here, wrapped around the neck. Then you see it in this very soft fabric and a ready-to-wear application in the neckline. It's beautifully draped here with just a little bit of fastening right here to complement this beautifully oversized suiting. Here in this women's wear look, you can see a polo styled with the kimono collar. This beautiful leaf floral blue vest with the tie. And then finally in this other suiting look with this shirt. So definitely keep in mind the kimono collar when thinking about different looks for this upcoming year. Next, the always popular technique of paneling and color blocking. Paneling and color blocking has always been a fashion staple. So here it's interesting to see it in a few different cool ways. Here you can see it in this sort of faux center front that extends from the front body. It's also color blocking and it's also paneling. It's a little bit of both. It's a very cool technique that I'd love to see in some of our ready-to-wear options. Here you can see the use of different textures to create a monochromatic look. You can see this between the contrast and the placket and the collar and the shirting. Always a really cool place and space to use different colors or different branding options. This is a throwback to the retro 80s and 90s. It's very cool, but you can see the really cool, crisp geometric lines there. Really cool. Here is a texture and a print difference between the two. So you have not only a texture, but you have a print difference. It looks like this is a woven with a lurex in it, and then you've got this beautiful knit sweater fabric. So you've got that too. And then here, this is really neat, very fashion forward. You see these geometric shapes that are angled that have not only a tonal difference, but also a material difference. You see a little bit more shine and lurex in this right here versus the softer, looks like a bit more of could be a suede. So very cool. The polo has become a modern fashion staple, from women's wear to menswear and high luxury to sportswear. You could see and spot it all over the runways. So the polo definitely was showing up this year. And here we have 6 really cool, really different ways to use it. Most of the time we see our polos in uniform form, but there are also high fashion ways to do it too. So we'll go here first to this beautiful polo with this faux fur collar. And then we have a polo that's in a mesh knit. So completely different styles, completely different fabrics, but still a polo's king right now. You also have a more traditional polo, and then these two are definitely more traditional polos with the striping. And then you have the cool, always available space of the placket and the collar to showcase different colors and textures and contrast. The big thing that's the same throughout all the polos were the sizing. Polos are getting a little bit bigger, the collars are getting bigger, and the sleeves are getting bigger. So keep that in mind when designing. Next, one of the most versatile prints are the plaids. Menswear collections often use it for standout pieces. So the plaids are continuing to show up. Last year, it was more florals. I think now we're starting to see more plaids. So we have this really cool suiting that has the plaids and then the elbow patches in different places. So you definitely think about where to break up different plaids with different paneling or different branding options. Here you have these little tiny gingham check in contrasting colors, looking really nice. You have a full plaid suit here and here. And then the pockets, always think about using plaids on the pockets for contrasting fabric ways. So here they flipped it on the bias to create some dynamic plaids. And then here you can see they flipped on the bias again. Always think about playing with the plaids bias. See here, you see it more aligned. Here you see it aligned. Here you see it aligned matching. And then you have these three options over here where you see how you can play with the bias of the plaid to create dynamic design lines. And then here you can see a really cool plaid texture that's been blown up, and the branding has been integrated into the plaid. Full color and full print have always been luxurious looks. Monochromatic or full print looks could be spotted all over the runway this season and this year. So here we have a few different takes. So we have full print here, top to bottom, the shirt, the suit, the shorts. Here you have a full print with this dynamic stripe going across it in a different color, but in the same print. And then you have this right here. It's a full monochromatic look in this beautiful iced matcha color. So definitely think about the full colors or full print looks and not being afraid to go there, because the fashion industry is really pushing that. It's dynamic, it's fashion forward, and it's really cool. You can showcase a lot of branding in these details. A new emerging trend is integrating hardware usually found on hard goods into apparel. Along with studs, beading, and patches, decoration is getting bigger and bolder, which is really awesome and really great news for us, because those are places where we get to showcase the branding or showcase really cool design ideas. I really love this Kenzo bomber with the metal clasps that are usually found on hardware. It's very cool. And look at this patch. It's really huge. This patch, really huge. They're really showing up and showing out. We have some details here that are bigger as well. Here you have these studs and hardware that's usually on purses and bags, but it's really big, really bold here, really showing up and showcasing the detail work that goes into garments. Here you have a clasp that's usually on a bag or a seatbelt. And then over here you have studs and these different hardware clips all over the jacket showing up. And some of them aren't really that useful, but they're great for details and decoration. Pockets are continuing to grow in size and multiply. From pants covered in cargo pockets to military-style jackets, pockets are being integrated everywhere. So we're just showcasing more and more pockets. These are very huge pockets from this designer. And then you see these big pockets right here all over this vest. You see definite military style in this baseball jacket and then different bombers, and then this sort of military style jacket with the different loops and different pockets and clips in different places. In this windbreaker with a hood, you see a huge, really big pocket here and a big pocket on the side. And then this is a beautiful safari style military jacket with these pockets and clips. And again, you're seeing those hardware inspirations that you saw on the last slide here as well. So definitely think about doing more hardware and more pockets in different designs. The sleeves. The trending silhouette continues to expand, and most fashion houses are using the sleeves to do the heavy lifting. Sleeves are getting wider and more detailed. Here's a beautiful array of different sleeves. We're showcasing where the designers and the programs are really putting emphasis on them. We see the ever popular, ever trendy zipper pocket on the sleeve that we've done here at Kotis for some time now. So it's good to know that we are on the trend, but we can definitely push it and go even further. Here's this really cool bomber with these sort of down-shaped sleeves. Very cool. You can see that sleeve pocket here as well. You see a detail here in the upper sleeve as well. This is really cool. Also, again, this is a really cool sign from hardware showing up on top of apparel. But these sleeves are really, really cool. Think about, this might not integrate or translate the same for us, but think about using pleats on a sleeve, or using stripes around the elbow or elbow patches. Here you have this sort of faux flying on top of the sleeve, and that could definitely be something we can use. And then here you have strips and hardware and different sleeve techniques showing up as well. So definitely look at this when you're thinking about where to put detail and character at, because sleeves are definitely becoming a real estate point for using different design inspirations. The bomber is having a resurgence. The historic military fashion piece is showing up in beautiful prints and colors and styling. So here you have 6 really cool, distinct, different bomber in silhouette, in size, in form, and fabric. But I wanted to showcase these because bombers are really, really picking up. And we have the programs here already installed. We can really showcase bombers. So here you have it in this beautiful contemporary print that has just a bit of nostalgia with it, to this beautiful branding on the center front. You also have different colors, from this brilliant soft pink to this sort of military gray slate blue. You have the pockets showing up again, the big pockets, the military style, very big, the sleeve pocket that we've talked about, the different stitching, the cool silhouette here, the hardware that's usually on hard goods. All those things are showing up. So definitely consider the bomber as the new outerwear piece that's going to be everywhere. Quilting and top stitching offer so much to a garment. We see it showing up all over the outerwear programs to highlight beautiful design lines and give subtle luxe detail to showcase modern twists on classic textiles. I wanted to highlight the quilting in these different spaces because you can think about how sometimes you can have quilting on just certain pieces of the garment. Here you can see this really cool baseball jacket with quilting just on the sleeves. And here you can see it again where it's all over the garment, almost like a tapestry of art and design. You can see it here again where it continues across center front, and it's really beautiful with this brilliant texture behind it. You see it done minimally here with this Western inspiration in the yoke, and the rest is quilting. You can also see these are 2 different fabrics that are contrasting. Then this full quilted piece definitely gives a little bit of a high fashion, luxury quilted blanket, but it's also very cool because you can see that sleeve shape starting to pop out and the wideness and thickness of the quilting in direct contrast to something that's a little bit more detailed and small. And then here's, you can see this top stitching around the different details to highlight and give a vibe to the jacket. Think about also, you can top stitch and quilt in a contrasting thread, or you can double up that thread and make it a 2-needle top stitching. So definitely think about that when we go into design. And finally, I like to highlight a few trends that I see continuing to populate our current landscape. Our first trend is workwear into fashion. You definitely see safety vest inspiration, and then the hardware here of this metal looking chainmail. You can see here, this looks like a kind of work outfit, or an outfit where you're going to scale something or build something showing up. The next trend is the athletic streetwear. Usually any year that there are Olympics, you're going to see that populate, and with more and more people taking an interest in sports every day and the fandoms that continue around the world, you're going to see them start showing up. So you have this really cool vibe that is definitely, and then this right here, definitely looking at sportswear as a inspiration. The last continuing trend, still going strong, is the preppy 80s, 90s trend. Here you can see that popping up with this cardigan, which we have cardigans now. We're looking to do more of them. And then the stripes and the sort of big pocket and slouchier vibe. And again, all these, you still see that the silhouette is getting bigger and the colors are showing softer and more muted tones. Well, thank you for your time and attention. Again, I am Terrence O'Brien Henderson. Take care and have a wonderful day.